It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are a mile high at Broncos Stadium in Denver, Colorado. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. The Broncos will kick. Here's Brandon McManus to start us, and we are off from Denver. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now! 180! Hey, we're good!
First carry for Josh Jacobs. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, 52 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Set! Black 80!
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Flacco looks to throw. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On second down, Jacobs. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
185. Check, 47. Hey, pick it up, defense.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To pass, Flacco. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 88 yards. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. 2 yards on the touchdown there as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown.
You mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense back out there at the line ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
You gonna see me in your nightmare. Joker, 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 Joker. Yo, leave.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Flacco. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Pick it up. Tight, tight, watch left. Tight, tight, watch left. 4 down, 4 down. 11.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hey, let's get in that holes. 80. 55.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. And it'll be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, in Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against his secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those 4. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right, and Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Check 24. Check 24.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Sanders has it over the middle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there of 22. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Flacco on the give to Lindsey. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st down, Lindsey. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Flacco. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Flacco leads to Lindsey on the draw. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Passing play. Flacco into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the 1st round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray 1st, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the 1st round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. On the counter, Lindsey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, pardon me.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll go again with Lindsey. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, Alpha.
On first down, Flacco. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Flacco now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Another run by Lindsey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And he's wrapped up. Taken down, back at the 25. Josh Morrow able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Carr completes it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Raider first down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Brown with the stick skills. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown, 38 yards. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Carlson on for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the side.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. You're over here, you're over here.
Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Flacco. And not willing to take a shot out of the pocket. He tucks it and goes down.
Brandon, so often we talk about whether or not a quarterback was surprised by the pressure, by the blitz. Most of the time they're not surprised by that, but the speed in which someone gets there. And on this play, I don't think he had any other chance or choice.
Are they taught in that situation just to tuck it and go down?
Yeah, when you don't even have an opportunity to look downfield and assess what's going on, cover it, take care of the football. Don't turn something bad into something worse.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Gary and Conley. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll let this in, and this will be caught at the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Flacco. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And now this pass brought in by Brown. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They go play action here on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Carr going to look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door. Maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to base. First and 10 here for Flacco. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Flacco. And the pressure gets to him again. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen.
We are just about 9 miles from downtown Manhattan as EA Sports brings you to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9. Flacco, he's got his tight end, Jake Butt, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throw complete here, Flacco to Sanders. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Under 10, under 10. Gun. Watch the slant. Motion, motion. Let's go.
To pass, Flacco. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a carry for Lindsay. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Flacco looks to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Marcus May with a pick. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. For the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I know every time we watch Le'Veon Bell play, we think about him making people miss the hesitation move. But you remember, he came out of Michigan State as a bruiser and a thumper, and he still has those capabilities.
At 225 pounds, an underrated part of his game.
Let's get this ball back. Put on.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Todd Davis.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Back. Check 43.
Third and long, it's Darnold. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety.
Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Flacco. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Brandon Copeland. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. We'll see if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board, knowing
like
that
soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, after an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Adam Gotsis, the Aussie, with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Flacco from the gun. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Fielded at the 43. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
That's good for a Jets first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Here's Darnold. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. They'll run on first down. Lindsey only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
X3, 218, chop.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Flacco, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 12. 24-yard line.
Watch the screen. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Here we go, D.
On 2nd and 12, Flacco. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Andy Janovich as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Just like that. Just like that.
Darnold. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Jets. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
47's the mic, boys. 47. Check, 47.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 38, Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And it's caught by Herndon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Darnold throw on the money to Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate. They may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing. But there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Just keeping the play alive. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 16 yards, a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision. Darnold, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter.
And that's caught inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Darnold finding Anderson here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Darnold now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. A screen to Bell. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll go again with Bell. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Kick is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
And try to atone for it here on this drive. A throw over the middle taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Hey, Monday. Red.
57's right. Hey, watch the slant.
Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Flacco's throw there complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On first down, Lindsey. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. That second down play nets a -4.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Leonard Williams drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This to perhaps salt this one away. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within one score.
Yeah, that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the fourth quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soft. Y'all playing the wrong football.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again second and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. Out left to Anderson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 16 yards, a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Check three, check three.
Now it's Darnold. Herndon hauls it in for the Jet touchdown. Chris Herndon there to make the grab as they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. A very important extra point there, up and good, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. This is taken at the 3. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too patient. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. There he goes, right side. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well and end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Pressure mounting. Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
Check.
They'll run on first down. Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium. It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready, stick at the flag. Check 53's Mike. Hey, here we go. Set up.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Being chased out left. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Browns, Antonio Callaway. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. leverage guys, win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From the 38, Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Ingram. The stop was made by Jannard Avery. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On On second down, Ingram. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Mayfield off the play fake. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
53, check 53. Go, go, go.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Ingram again, a first down carry. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Mayfield down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, it's Ingram, and he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Mayfield on play action. He's going to fire one deep, middle. It's caught inside the 25. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete here.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Alert, 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 alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Joseph now to have the PAT. And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Browns 14, Ravens 10.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson now. Buying time to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They run, Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Three down. Check it out, Reed.
Run.
From the 29, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
They would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 41-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on.
Play fake. Mayfield. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 33. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Mayfield. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And a Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Mike Fofo. Watch your slap. Watch your slap.
From the 29, Jackson steps away to his left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's bring it. Kill.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now it's Ingram. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And now Jackson will look to throw it. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in the zone.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway, and all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 30 yards, and they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Throwing is Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On the ground, it's Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
At the Ravens' 32-yard line.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Hilliard. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the...
He's got a man. Complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Jackson chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.